I stood at the edge of the old boulevard. My heart was heavy. I had a big decision to make.
The trees whispered in the wind. They seemed to know her troubles. Valla was only 12, but she felt much older today.
I held a small purse in my hand. Inside was money that didn't belong to me. I had found it on the street. It was more money than I had ever seen. My family was poor. This money could help us so much, but I knew it wasn't mine to keep.
Valla kicked a pebble with her worn-out shoe. She watched it skitter down the path. Part of her wanted to run away with the money. Another part knew that was wrong. She felt torn in two. What should she do? The boulevard stretched out before her. It seemed to go on forever, just like her problem.
I sat down on a nearby bench. I needed to think. The choice I made today would change everything. I could feel it in my bones.
As Valla sat there, lost in thought, an old man approached. He was pushing a wheelbarrow full of flowers. His face was kind and wrinkled like an old apple. He smiled at Valla and stopped his work.
What troubles you, young one?
Valla looked up at him. She didn't usually talk to strangers, but something about this old gardener made her feel safe. She told him about the money she had found. She explained how much her family needed it, but she also said how wrong it felt to keep it. The old man nodded wisely. He set down his wheelbarrow and sat next to Valla.
Life often gives us hard choices. The easy path is not always the right one, and the right path is not always easy.
Valla listened carefully. The old man's words made sense. She felt a little better already. Sometimes just talking about a problem can help.
What we do when no one is watching shows who we really are. It's in these moments that we build our character.
The old gardener pointed down the boulevard.
Imagine two paths. One is smooth and easy, the other is rocky and hard. Which would you choose?
Valla thought for a moment.
The easy one.
The old man smiled knowingly.
But what if I told you that the easy path leads to sadness and regret, and the hard path leads to joy and pride?
Valla's eyes widened. She hadn't thought of it that way before. The gardener was very wise indeed. Valla looked at the purse in her hand. She thought about the two paths. Keeping the money would be easy. It would solve her family's problems for a while. But deep down, she knew it wasn't right. The hard path was to return the money. It wouldn't help her family, but it was honest.
Every choice we make shapes our future. Small decisions can have big consequences. What you decide today will affect who you become tomorrow.
Valla nodded slowly. She was beginning to understand. This wasn't just about money. It was about who she wanted to be.
I'm going to return the money.
That's a brave choice. It won't be easy, but it's the right thing to do.
Valla felt a weight lift from her shoulders. She knew it would be hard to go home empty-handed. Her family would still struggle. But she also felt proud. She was doing the right thing. That was worth more than any amount of money.
Remember, true wealth isn't in your pocket, it's in your heart.
Valla nodded. She understood now. Being honest and brave was more important than being rich. It was a lesson she would never forget. With a deep breath, Valla started walking. She was going to find the police station. She would turn in the money there. It wouldn't be easy, but she knew it was the right path, the hard path, the path that would make her stronger. As Valla walked down the boulevard, she felt different. She stood taller. Her steps were more confident. She was no longer the confused girl from before. She was someone who had made a hard choice. Someone who had chosen to do the right thing. The trees seemed to whisper their approval. The sun peeked out from behind a cloud. It was as if the whole world was cheering her on.
Doing the right thing feels good. It makes me feel strong and brave.
At the police station, Valla handed over the purse. The officer praised her honesty. He said not many people would have done what she did. Valla felt a warm glow inside. She had passed a test of her character, and she had passed with flying colors. Walking home, Valla thought about the old gardener. She was grateful for his wisdom. He had helped her see the bigger picture. She realized that life would always have hard choices. But now she knew she had the strength to make the right ones. Valla's family was proud when they heard what she had done. They hugged her tight. Her mother had tears in her eyes.
You did the right thing. I'm so proud of you.
Valla felt a happiness she had never known before. It was better than any amount of money. In the days that followed, something amazing happened. Word spread about Valla's honesty. People in the town started to help her family. They offered her father work. They brought food and clothes. Valla's good deed had inspired others to be kind. Valla often thought about that day on the boulevard. She thought about the two paths. She was glad she had chosen the harder one. It had led her to become a better person. It had shown her the goodness in others. She knew now that honesty and bravery were the true treasures in life. Years later, Valla would walk down that same boulevard. She would see a young person looking troubled, and she would stop. She would share the wisdom she had learned. She would tell them about the two paths, and she would encourage them to always choose the right one, no matter how hard it might be.